Hey, do it yourself with Burgess here. We're back with the S10. Today we're going to be doing the distributor. I'll show you how to do the cap and rotor and the whole distributor. I have it up right now because we have to crawl underneath to set the engine at top dead center. I'll show you that later. But first we'll locate it. This is your distributor. Because of a previous project I did on this, I have all of my spark plug wires marked. There's little numbers right here. I don't know if you can see them. It corresponds to the firing order. So 5, 5, 1, 3. Got them over here too. So the very first thing you need to do is clean off the spark plug wires. These are brand new wires. I just put them on in the other video. But mark your wires and then we'll unplug them. Unplug each one off. After you have them marked, make sure you don't mix them up or your engine's not going to run correctly, if at all. Some of them can be kind of hard. You might have to twist them a little to get them off. We'll pop all them off. One thing we are going to do, we're going to disconnect the wiper motor probably and move this wire out of the way. It's going to make it easier, make our life a little easier. You don't have to have the truck lifted off the ground. You can jack it up if you want. You can do it flat if you want. It's just really tight. If you're a real skinny guy, you could probably get under there without lifting it up. I like to move around a little bit. I like to be able to move my arms. So we'll get to that. I'll show you what to do. This is our new distributor. This came from 1A Auto. There's a couple of things I want you to look for when you buy a distributor. I don't care where you get it from. They have good prices here at 1A. See this little mark right here? Very important. If you don't have this mark and this little dimple here on the one that you're buying, some aftermarket ones don't have that. You're going to need that for your measurement when you put this in to make sure that your motor runs. So, I mean, you could do it without that mark, but the aftermarket ones, it's just going to make it a little more difficult. We want to have that on there. So, yep, this is our new one. We'll get it in there. We'll get started. Alright, first let's get these clips off. Get this wire out of here. There's 2 clips. Now we can get this out of our way. We'll unplug the wiper motor. It's got a little clip right here. Alright. Now that won't bother us while we're pulling the distributor out. Next, there's going to be a size 20 Torx right down here, and one that you can't see. In fact, maybe you can see it. Yeah, right back there. So we'll get those 2 out. That'll get the cover off. You can do it 2 ways. You can have the T20 just T-handle. That's what I'm going to use. This is what the Torx looks like. Let's see if I can get you a better shot. It's like a star. Or you can go ahead and use a socket size one. Whichever you got, whatever's available. We'll get in there, get these out. Let's see. Yep, 20 it is. So we'll get these out of here and get this cap off. Okay, so my T-handle didn't quite fit in the back one. Mine was too long. Maybe you got a shorter one that'll fit. I had to go ahead and put the socket type on there to get this one fit in the front, but I couldn't get the back one, so I switched over to this. Okay, cap pulls right out. The ends look a little burnt, so we know it's probably time to replace it. This is your rotor here. It's got some stuff going on. Be a good time to change it. Get this one all new. So if you were just changing the cap and rotor, you would take that cap off first, and then these are 15s. We'll pull those out to change the rotor. Now before I take this rotor off, since we're going to be changing the whole distributor, I want to show you something. Because we have to set this motor at top dead center. There's 2 arrows. One right there, it has a 6 on it. And then we have one right there with an 8. So we have a 6-cylinder motor. We are going to go to the 6. what we want to do is turn the motor over until this points at that 6. You can see it's a little off right now, so we'll have to get under the truck and we'll set this top dead center, and when we do that, this should be pointed right at the 6. Okay, so to do this, I believe it is a 15 millimeter to turn the motor over. We'll get under there and take a look, see what we see. You may have a shroud under here covering your harmonic balancer that you might have to take off. It's like 7 screws. This one doesn't have it. So we don't have to worry about that. So we'll have these marks. If you can see, there'll be 2. There's one. See if I can get this zoomed in. Of course I won't be able to. We have one up there that we can't see. And then there's one right here. They're just little cutout grooves. We want this one, not the second one. So they're kind of close together. The first one needs to be lined up with this mark here, this little piece that sticks out. All right, we're on that bolt. Let's get this turning. It might be a little hard because you'll have compression in your motor. Let's see. I want to get them. Try to get you a view here. Just a touch farther. All right, now we've got them. I don't know if you can see it. We got them lined up now. See there to there. I know it's hard to see, but how would you get them lined up? Okay, now let's go back to the top. Let's see if they're lined up on the top. Yep, okay, so now you can see perfectly lined up. So we know we're at top dead center on the 6. Okay, so doing the top dead center won't matter. It won't matter if you are just changing the cap and rotor. So if you're just changing the cap and rotor, all you gotta do now is take out these 2 15 Torx, put your new one on, and just make sure it's pointed in the same direction, because it'll go on, I think, either way, but just make sure it's pointed back the same direction. For us, we are going to be taking out the entire thing, so we don't need to take that cap off. We're going to take that bolt out. I think it's a 10. Let me check. I'll let you know in 1 second. All right, it is a 10 millimeter. So have to get on there. If you can get a socket on it, that'd be better. I don't know, my socket wrench and socket wouldn't fit, so I put a ratcheting wrench on it. Put that out. Can't get you a good view. Almost out. Okay, and that bolt's out. Set that to the side where you're not going to lose it. Now when you lift this out, your little the top is going to move. It's not going to stay pointed at that mark, and I'll show you why in a second. So see how it turned? All right. Oh, we got a clip back here. We got to take that wire off. All right, so let me show you why that turned. So when you have it in there, it's pointed directly at that 6. When you pull it out, it turns because of these grooves. So the whole thing has to twist when you pull it out. It twists out of those grooves, which makes this unit turn. So when we put it back in, that's where our little mark, remember I said to make sure it has a mark? That little mark needs to line up with this little indentation. If you get them straight in a row like that, and when you put it in there, that allows for the twist. So line those up, and then when it twists back in, the top will line right back up with that. If it doesn't, if it's off one way or the other, you're probably just off a tooth. So you just need to pull it out turn it over a tooth to put it back in. Alright, so now put our old one in the box. We'll get our new one back out. First thing we need to do is get the cap off. So we'll grab our 20 Torx again and pull that top off. Alright, so now we've got our 2 screws out. Take our top off. I don't know if you can see. So, got our top off. Now we got to find the 6. This one, we just have to go from the arrow. So we'll go this arrow because we knew where it was. This is the one that was on the left. So we're going to this arrow. So we'll just turn this. I need to get you guys a better shot. Alright. So we'll turn our top so it's pointed right at that arrow. If you can see that there. So now that it's at the arrow, I just wanted to show you this. You could see that our mark and this are off. So we're going to turn this back, line these 2 up so they're perfectly in line. And that'll be off again here. But now when we slide it in, this will turn, when these grooves hit down here, it will turn and line it back up. Let's go see if we did it right. Alright, I forgot something. We need to take this off that holds the distributor. We need to take it off and put it on the new one. I forgot to do that. So, we'll pop that off and we'll slide it on to the new one. Well, it doesn't stay on real tight, but once you tighten this down, it's going to hold this distributor in place really tight. So, make sure you do that. I forgot to do that. Okay, so we've got our marks lined up right here. So now we're going to carefully, without trying to get anything moving, going to get this slid back in. Drop it in there. And once it gets in the grooves, the top will spin. I'll get you a better view. The top will spin in those grooves as it goes into place. Well, this was what I was talking about it. Maybe not. Oh, there it goes. Okay. If it doesn't slide in, you might have to reach down the bottom and turn that. I'll show you on the old one. I'll show you in a second. But let's make sure we're lined up. We're lined up with that arrow. Okay, that's good. So we know we're good there. Before I bolt that in, I want to show you what I was just talking about. If it doesn't line up, there's this little rectangle piece. If it doesn't go in and slide into the slot that it's supposed to down in the bottom of that hole, you can take a long skinny screwdriver and go down that tube, that hole, and you can turn it just a little bit one way or the other. It might have just got turned off a little. Try to look at the bottom of the distributor, see what position that rectangle's in. Look down the hole, and you could turn it a little bit one way or the other. It's the oil pump that's down there that turns with it. Excuse me. So you might have to turn that a little bit if it got twisted when you were pulling out the distributor. Usually it will stay right where we had it. We saw we were able to get ours in. So if you do have trouble, that's how you fix that. We didn't have a problem, so I don't have to show you that right now. So first thing we're going to do is get that bolt back in there so we can put the cap on. Okay, we've got our bolt in. Make sure you get that bolt really tight because we want to make sure that that distributor doesn't move. It needs to stay nice and solid to the motor so we don't have any problems with how it runs. So now we're going to get the cap on. I'll throw the cap on and spark plug so we can fire it up and see how it goes. Also, when you put the top on, the side with the 4 spark plug prongs, it's got the one for the coil and then the even numbers. That goes to the left. The 3 odd numbers to the right. Alright, so got our plugs back on. Make sure you put your plug in the back of the cap. Throw these wires these harnesses back in the clips. I hate clips. Anyway, we'll get that when I got two hands. I'll have to put the wiper motor back plugged in. That's plugged in. So I gotta use two hands for this, but we'll get these back in. Okay, everything's back together. In the last video I did the spark plugs and wires. I ran it after that, everything seemed to run good. Now, moment of truth. Wrong keys, these keys. Too many keys in my pocket. Now we start it. Make sure we got everything hooked up right. We want to check for the motor moving around anyway. Running pretty smooth. Let's say we got it. So now we've got a new radiator, we've got a new distributor, new spark plugs, new wires. Yep. Oh yeah, she's running smooth. All right, so the next step in this video series is going to be we'll do the fuel filter next. So I'll get that video out as soon as I can. We'll get into the truck. It should be in the fuel rail, I believe, the driver's side. I'll have to take a look, and we'll change that because there's three things that are going to make this motor run good: fuel, spark, and air. You gotta have air, you gotta have fuel, gotta have spark. So right now we just fixed up all the spark with the changing the distributor and the cap and the rotor and the wires and the spark plugs. So we know we've got good spark. We want to make sure we're going to keep getting fuel to the motor. I don't know if it's ever been changed. We're just giving this thing a full tune-up and get her running good. So if you hit that subscribe button so you see more of these videos coming out, more things I can help you with, and it helps me, we can help each other. So please do that for me, and we'll see you next time. Do it yourself, Burgess. Thanks.